So there is a guy going around right now saying that that Charlie Kirk himself was shot from behind. In this video, I'm going to show you why this is most likely false, and that he is 100% lying. I didn't see anything. Okay, I saw a little flash. A muzzle flash, and I've seen this before. Muzzle flashes are a lot brighter, plus these windows right here aren't even openable. I've been to UVU. These windows can't even open. And plus, there are people in this building.
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine. You'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing.
Okay, now let's fast forward.
Showing where, unfortunately, we will blur out Charlie's face, but we will show what is necessary to prove that this wasn't.
Okay, I'm gonna slow the video down here. Back speed.
And right there.
Did y'all capture any bullets? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Area. Right there.
There was nothing coming from here if you even saw it. Plus, blood squirts everywhere. And if he really was shot from behind, there would have been tons of blood all over this backdrop and in front of him. Now, there was blood in front of him, but the surgeons recovered the bullet. Now, here's where I'm going to show you again that he's lying.
Looking for, like he said, hours of going through photos and videos until he saw this. This would 100% line up with the actual shot that we've now proven was not taken from the front, was taken from the back side of Charlie. This would line up exactly with that bullet trajectory.
Did y'all see that? He aimed from this bush, this innocent-looking bush, to this tent. Charlie is right here. Here, I'll even show you. The bush is right here. Normal looking bush. You can't even hide behind this bush. And even if he was behind it, how would he escape? He'd have to run down these stairs and into the crowd. Anyway, he lines up this bush to this tent, when originally the supposed shot came from back here. And I count people in this building. Yeah, it came from this building right here because I see the exact same person. Charlie's tent is right here. And even if it were to come up right here, it would have been almost impossible to hit him due to the steep and close proximity. He would have to have had a thermal scope or something. But even if it did come right here, it would have hit someone down here. And I count a ton of heads. Okay? He marks this bush, supposedly, this tent, which is a merchandise tent. Merchandise, Charlie, bush. This guy is clearly lying because he thinks he knows big words. He thinks that this is actually where Charlie is. He thinks he's in here. And that even if the shooter was right here and Charlie was in this tent, or his tent was right here, it still would have been very hard to hit exactly where he did. Okay, now let's go to the other videos. Okay, I'm going to slow the video down again, which I know you guys hate. I'm going to slow it down.
Tensing up. Most of them
Okay, if he was really shot from behind, his head and body, his head would have cocked back and his body would have moved forward. But instead, his head moved down and his body cocked backwards due to the force of the bullet hitting him. And his body comes back to normal due to the force pushing back. And this, people are wondering about, this is the mic he uses for his videos. And this thin little line right here, if he, in the video that we've all seen, of him being shot from the same spot, this exact video, when he tips over, if he was really shot from behind, you would have seen blood pooling out of his head. Blood doesn't just come out of one side if you're shot and it exits. And if it really was an exit wound right here, it would have been much bigger. That is a normal bullet-sized hole from when it enters. And either way, he would have been bleeding a lot from both sides. So guys, this guy is clearly a fraud. Don't believe him, guys. And I'm going to prove it again. Up here. Public view everywhere. When the supposed muzzle flash comes from over here, and this guy can't even keep his story straight. Supposedly, it's from this bush, but in the beginning video, the supposed muzzle flash is from a closed window. And college campus windows in the flag building can't open. This is the flag building behind him. And the windows on the flag building can't open. So, even if he wasn't there, there were people watching the rally from inside the flag building. So there wouldn't have been enough time for him to aim, take the shot, and get out quickly. And how would he even have gotten the window open? This guy is a fraudster, people.
With that bullet trajectory and the entry and exit wound that we exhibited, that we saw here on camera. So,
did you see where he was pointing? He was pointing up and down from the bush to that red and blue tent there, to Charlie's tent there, right? Well, there's just one problem with that, folks. It wasn't Charlie's tent. That was a merchandising tent that's over 100 feet away from Charlie. And if you want more evidence, here it is right here. So I'm going to play this drone video for you. And first of all, look, there's that bush.
See, if he was really disguised as a bush, this would have been gone. And there's not even enough room to hide behind it. This type of a bush is really small, and anyone can be seen behind it, and a gun can't even fit through it without being noticed. And that is the building over there where the true shot came from, people.
Still there. And this is where Charlie's tent was here. It was this white tent at the bottom of the amphitheater. And here is now that purplish, reddish tent. It's a merchandising tent, I believe, that is now flipped over. But you can see how far apart these guys are. They're approximately 100 feet apart. And as the drone video moves on here, I think it's going to turn around here. You can see, there's that bush that he was talking about. So if you look at this bush right over here, Charlie was sitting just in front of this white background right here at this table under this tent. So you can see, so if the shooter really was this bush, which now we can see conclusively.
There's that bush. And I'll even zoom in on it here. Just as far as I can zoom. There's no one there. That is just the bush. Okay, bushes can look like someone is in a stance of a gun. And I've even seen it myself. Don't believe this stupid guy. He's not smart. He thinks because he thinks he knows big words and says they're big words, and just because he says big words doesn't mean it's true. He can't even keep his story straight. If you watch the whole video, he'll say, "Oh, shot comes from right here." Okay, you can't even see Charlie from there without seeing the backdrop and hitting the backdrop. Oh, well, it comes from here. Too steep of an angle to actually see Charlie with everyone here.
This is not the shooter. But if Range Day Bro is trying to convince you that this was the shooter, look at the angle here. This is way in front of Charlie because Charlie's here, so it's way out in front of Charlie, and it's way out to his right. So that would mean.
And besides, the bush is too far back. The bush is way too far back for him to actually be able to see Charlie. It's back here, when in reality it would need to be up here on the edge. Right here on this edge in order for him to even see the stand without seeing just the tip of it.
Mean that the shot would have come from way out in front of Charlie, not back behind Charlie to the right like he was claiming. Back behind Charlie to his right would have been right here at this glass, which is where the other people were trying to make it look like there was a muzzle flash, which is really stupid, because this is the Hall of Flags that was filled with people anyways. Nobody's going to try to make that very small angle shot like that through glass. Are you kidding me? There's no way that would work. Trying to shoot through any type of glass is going to deform your bullet, and it's not likely to make it to your intended target. So everything that you've heard from other people, whether it be muzzle flashes, a gunman here or a gunman here, all of this area was crowded with hundreds of people. And none of these people ever said, hey, I heard the shot right behind me. It would have been super loud right here. Instead, the shooter was back over here by about 150 yards. So had the shooter been right behind all of these people, it would have been really, really loud there. And the bullet wasn't really all that loud. Okay, now, so let's look at why this couldn't be the gunman anyway in the first place. So, first of all, we've already established there was no exit wound. The doctors have the gun. So any of these guys that are saying there's an exit wound, they're just lying. It's not the FBI that's lying. It's not the police that are lying. It's not the doctors that are lying. It's not friends that were there and talked to the doctors that were lying. It's the person making that video who is lying. If this guy is trying to convince us into thinking that there was a shooter right up here behind this bush, this is what's stupid. Let's zoom in and take a close look at it. The size of this bush barely makes it to the height of the table and bench that's sitting up here, okay? So, if you look at the height of this bush, and by the way, this is taken when Charlie, I don't even know if he's there yet, but obviously the crowd's still here, right? So, if this guy was a shooter in disguise, why is this picture still there looking like that? Look at the size of this bush and compare it to the size of the people here. You can see it doesn't even come up to their waist. So there's no way some guy with a tall rifle is going to be able to hide himself behind this bush that's barely even 30 inches tall. None of this even makes sense. And even if he did shoot down here at Charlie, which seems like a very steep angle, and I'm not even sure he could see him through the top of the canopy here because of this closeness and the steep angle. And hello, people shooting through glass. Assuming this guy was here and takes a shot, where's he gonna run? Where's his escape path? He has to run down these stairs here, where now he's mingling with possibly hundreds of people who are disappearing at the same time, and they could.
And I will even show you guys even more proof that this guy is lying. Shot comes from up here. Where does the first video of the shot say? Where does the first video of a shot being taken take place? Here.
Other people lying. So let's take a look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have acquired proof that the FBI's official story is false.
So first he's going to show you this
Flag building. There is no bush in sight.
same bogus.
This is the building behind Kirk, not the building with the bush on it.
You can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself. They're not coming gang violence.
Again, unopenable windows. Public buildings like this don't have windows up this high. There isn't even a floor connected to this window right here. So how did he somehow, Jesus, fly up, break this window, take a shot without anyone noticing? Because there were even people in this building. I'm going to leave a link in the description to this video. You can get 27 minutes and 37 seconds worth of proof that this guy is a false liar. Again, flag building. Supposedly muzzle shot. Supposed shooter where the bullet came from, when it supposedly came from this building, but apparently he's teleported to this building. And he connects the dots from this bush to the merchandise tent, when in reality he should be connecting the dots from the bush to the tent over here. This guy's a false, a phony. Catch you guys on Sunday for the Chiefs versus Ravens game, guys. I love you all. Stay safe. Know the truth all the time, guys.